On this 4th of July, I want to show you how Donald Trump wants to deport and denaturalize or remove the citizenship of real Americans.
A little controversial, but I couldn't care less. We have a
Listen
lot of
carefully.
bad criminals that came into this country, and they came in stupidly. It was an unforced error. It was an incompetent president that allowed it to happen. It was an auto pen maybe that allowed it to happen, and it did happen. But we also have a lot of bad people that have been here for a long time. People that whack people over the head with a baseball bat from behind when they're not looking and kill them. People that knife you when you're walking down the street. They're not new to our country. They're old to our country. Many of them were born in our country. I think we ought to get them the hell out of here, too. You want to know the truth. So maybe that'll be the next job that we'll work on together.
So let's talk about it. Donald Trump, you heard him say he wants to get rid of people that were born here, right? So those are actual U.S. citizens that were born in the United States. He wants to deport them or remove their citizenship because they were criminals. And very similarly, here, Stephen Miller is saying he wants to denaturalize people. And naturalization means you were born elsewhere and you gain citizenship in the United States. So you are a full blooded American citizen. You get to vote in federal elections. And Stephen Miller wants to remove a lot of those people from the United States and wants to remove their citizenship. And so, how do they do that? So, to remove citizenship from somebody is a big deal. Like, that's not something that you can easily do. You have to there are several elements that qualify for removal of citizenship. Usually it's because you lied on your citizenship application or there was some sort of fraud or something like that. But even violent criminals don't lose their citizenship because they committed a violent crime. So the fact that Donald Trump is going down that slippery slope already shows you where he's going. Now, let's take a step back and think about what they're already doing, right, with immigrants. So during the election, they said that they were going to only deport criminal, illegal, quote unquote, aliens, right? Undocumented immigrants. And what have they done so far? They've removed not just criminal immigrants, they've also removed legal immigrants as well. So it's all a slippery slope. Every time they say they're going to do one thing, right, with criminals so they can get all their base on board and everybody gets riled up because they're going after the criminals, right? Yeah, but that just makes a small percentage of who they're actually deporting. They deport, they first start with the criminals, but there's only but so many. Then they go after the legal aliens, right? So those are the people, or not aliens, but legal documented immigrants that were here under TPS, temporary protected status. Those are Haitians, Cubans, Venezuelans, right? They merely alleged crimes, and that is sufficient in a civil immigration hearing to deport somebody. There's an alleged crime. They don't have to be convicted of a crime, and then they deport them. And then just in general, people who were in the process of seeking asylum, right? We've seen all the court appearances of ICE where they call them for a court hearing for asylum seeking. They dismiss the case, or they say, okay, we'll grant you asylum, and then ICE picks them up to deport them, right? So they're being very disingenuous about what their true intent is, right? And so from the beginning, that's what's been happening, right? They've claimed criminals are the ones that they're going to deport, and they deported many more people than that, right? So first they started with undocumented immigrants, then with documented immigrants, right? The TPS folks who they revoked their TPS so that they can remove them. Then here you see Stephen Miller say that he's going to denaturalize citizens. So they're going after citizens that were born elsewhere, that were naturalized, that are American citizens. He's going to try to remove their citizenship. Yes, they'll start with the criminals, then they'll go with the non-criminals. That's what they've been doing, right? And then in that clip that you just saw, you heard Donald Trump talk about criminals again, and also mention those that were born here, right? So even American citizens that were born in the United States that have citizenship by birthright, right? Regardless of where your parents come from, that's in the Constitution of 14th Amendment. That's not up for debate, regardless of how many executive orders he might sign. He is targeting them as well for deportation. So as you see, this is textbook ethnic cleansing, textbook, Stephen Miller has been reading a lot of history books of World War II, Germany, circa 1940s, and using the same tactics that they used back then. So we on this July 4th, we need to really think about what it is to be American, what it means to be American, and what it means to protect our Constitution, right? And so our Constitution dictates and guarantees a lot of rights. And we are witnessing a lot of those rights being stripped away slowly by this administration, and we need to stand up for it.